G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Throwing in something a little different in here today, just a little filler. So bonnet's up, manual's in, a couple of beers and a couple of cruisers. So we're still down in Tassie, and one of our followers, Ben here, say g'day Ben.
How you going?
Has kindly offered to come over and have a look at my car for me. So remember back when we were up in the Riverland, I had my timing belt issue, but because it actually went in for an electrical issue and we never actually got that electrical issue sorted. I've been running with it because it's not just, what's the word I'm looking for? Debilitating. It's not stopping anything, but it's something that's underlying that I really want to get fixed. So Ben's here, come around and have a look. And he's starting to think it might be trailer plug related. I check my lights and everything regularly, but we're not getting voltages that we would expect to see.
We're having abnormal problems, but we've checked all the obvious, but we just can't figure out what actually is the cause. But we're checking individual problems, but we'll get there in the end.
Yeah, we'll get there. So I'll quickly show you in the front. So when I first had the issue, my headlights wouldn't turn off, so I had to get a brand new fuse box. So this is a brand new fuse box, but since replacing that, my tail lights have to be jumpered, so that's another issue that we'll hopefully figure out. But I've had an ABS light and a handbrake light up. Doesn't matter what I'm doing or how I'm driving, they're up. We put a scan tool on it. Ben's very handily got a scan tool as well. Confirmed what the mechanics saw, that it's my ignition 2 circuit and rear diff lock pickup sensor. I don't have a rear diff lock. These cars are designed that you can add one, plug and play, but it doesn't have one. So they're spurious alarms. Everything's working. I don't have any issues, but there's something underlying there that's causing an issue, throwing codes. So that's what we're fixing today. Hopefully we have a bit of a win. We'll see how we go. I'll keep you posted.
The problem?
Well, we found a problem.
Yeah, not the problem, but we'd done a circuit test on there and found that the tail light wires come out, and that may be
causing one of the issues.
Maybe causing the issue that maybe a little bit of a contributing factor.
And we do find that weird because we test our lights really regularly.
Yeah.
It must have been just touching enough for us to...
Yeah, it could have been when you put the trailer plug in, it might have just been pushing the fork in a bit further to make it touch.
Yeah.
But that also could have been shorting out or anything like that. So
we'll fix that up, test it and see how we go. That could be a really simple win for one of the faults.
Yeah.
Well, no luck with that. Still got a problem with the tail lights. I'm just putting it all back together now, but we've got continuity everywhere. It must have just been touching anyway, because like I said, we check our lights all the time. So I'm busy putting this back, and Ben is just jumping in behind the glove box. So I've got some junction boxes and fuse boxes down in that kick panel, so he's just jumping in there. He's checked the fuses in there already, and they were all fine, but he's going to see if he can find something obvious. But there's too many weird little faults that I reckon it's probably like an earthing problem, but just trying to figure out where that is. He reckons he's worked on thousands of these cars before. As you can see, he's got his own one behind me. But yeah, this one's stumped him. Ben, so what's next on the thought process? What are we doing?
We're just going to take out the ECU, take out all the control units, and figure out if we had any water enter all this on your great adventures along the road. And yeah, we've got some vital parts in here and bits and pieces.
What a weird spot to put them up in that kick panel.
Yeah,
where water can get in the full
yeah
drive.
Well, we've got some fuse panels and bits and pieces in here and some control units. This is your main ECU, obviously. It's up high.
Yeah.
You've got your BCM up here. We've already looked into that. Didn't find any faults in that, but yeah, we've just got to eliminate things as we go. But it's given us some weird faults, but it's one of them things that's going to fight us all the way until we find out exactly what
you can see why I had given up on it, but I was pretty thankful that Ben reached out and said he was willing to come have a look for me. So
yeah, but
it's putting it fresh in my head, so I'll have sleepless nights again now. Thanks, Ben.
No,
but I would like to get on top of it. at least figure out what the fault is so I can get it fixed properly. If it's replacing a module or having to replace a fuse box, whatever, I just need to know what is causing it. So having someone that actually knows these cars fairly well, he's already spotted that the last service they put the wrong fuel filter on. This is designed for the non-turbo version of this car. So I'm going to get a new fuel filter. He reckons that's about 15% power. 15% you said on the fuel filter?
Yeah, so it's got the 1AZ fuel filter, which it's got a flat top on it, whereas the lift pump has also a flat top, so it hasn't got the sufficient groove in it, or also sufficient spot, I guess, for the fuel to get through. So yeah, it hasn't got the right.
I'm going into Hobart tomorrow, so I'll be getting a new fuel filter, changing that
Rambling
out.
on a bit, but it's got the wrong filter in it.
And then we got a little bit sidetracked, and he's found my chip, my performance chip. So we've just dialed it up, and it had almost fallen out, which would have been very inconvenient if it did, especially if that happened on a hill. But while we're in there, he's decided to just tweak it up a little bit for me. I didn't realise it was programmable, so we've just jumped it up a power setting. So we'll see if that makes a difference between the fuel filter and that. I might get up these hills a little bit easier.
Yep, Tasmania hills.
There's a lot of hills here.
Yep.
But we're still chasing the fault, so we were in there, look, when we found that.
We're just ticking over everything, every bit of wiring that could be a cause. We've checked every single thing that could be it, ticking everything off, and
still not had any luck.
Yeah.
But we've been at it for like 2 hours, 2.5.
We'll find it, hopefully. If not, we're on the way to find it.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, I'm just in the exact same position I was this morning, which is still working.
But we're still finding other things on the way.
Yeah, well, this would have been inconvenient if it fell out. The little nutset had come loose. So we'll put that back together and keep cracking on, but I'm keen to, once I get this fuel filter tomorrow, see if it's made a bit of a difference, because I've got to tow the van as of Tuesday, so 2 days from now, see if I notice a difference. Alright, glove box is back away. He's put a little bit of dielectric grease on all the connectors in the hope that that might help something, but it all looked pretty good in there. We had a look at the old fuse box because I kept that was the original problem, and I didn't have a lot of these problems with that old fuse box. So just for our benefit, we are now lifting up the new fuse box, and we're going to have a look at the connectors on the underside of it, because there was a little bit of corrosion on the pins, which means the connectors might be a little bit sus. So we're going to have a look while the batteries are disconnected and everything, and see how we go with that. But after that, we're sort of clutching at straws, aren't we? You're running out of ideas.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the connections on the bottom of this. Due to that was the main reason this is coming out in the first place. So I'll have a bit of a look and go from there.
But I tell you what, the sun's dipped and the temperature drops so quickly around here.
Wallabies will start coming out.
Yeah, we get paddy melons through here.
Yeah.
That's about as high as we can lift it without disconnecting all the cables.
Yeah.
But it all looks tight, it all looks clean, doesn't it?
It all looks good, yeah. So obviously the old base is from the old fuse box, and part of it goes to the old fusible link, part of it goes to the headlight, and part of it goes into the engine control system, and then there's the fuse box. But in the old 100 series from 2003 to 2000, all the relays are on top, and then 2003 to 2007 or 2006, all the relays are soldered hard. And unfortunately this is the model where they're soldered hard, and that's the problem we're having.
Yeah. I'll show you the old fuse box and what we mean. This is why I couldn't fix this fault myself originally. It's because I had a relay fail in the fuse box, but it's in the fuse box. So this is inside. They're all soldered to a board. So that's why I had to get a new fuse box in the first place. I can't just replace a relay on the top. I don't know why they would do that. It's such a weird concept. Like, relays fail eventually. Why make them so hard to get to? But we haven't really had any luck in there. But we have touched everything. We have reseated everything. We've put dielectric grease on things. We could put it all back together and we might have a win.
We could do. We could have magically fixed something, but
could have made it worse too.
Yeah, we'll just keep looking, and we might fix it somehow, or we might end up finding it, but
I'm not holding my breath anymore. This is why I gave up 2 months ago.
No, but we'll just keep on looking. That's all we can do.
Alright, so scan tool's back on. we got rid of one of the faults, didn't we?
Yep.
So the handbrake warning light is no longer coming up.
Oh yeah.
Which is, I think, the ignition 2.
Yep.
So that's
so
we're not getting that code anymore.
Yeah, so we got rid of the ignition code.
But we're still getting the diff lock code.
Yeah, still getting the diff lock code, and it doesn't have a diff lock.
Which is weird, so we're not too worried about that.
Yeah, we're thinking that code's running through something to do with the tail lights.
Yeah, so the tail lights don't work, and they don't have power.
But at the moment, we're running the tail lights through
the headlight circuit.
Yeah, so it's still all legal. Tail lights still working. Yep. Everything's working. Everything's legal. Everything's working how it should, but it's all piggybacked how we can do it at the moment. So
yeah, not standard. I could, if I really wanted to, rewire the tail light and the headlight circuits separately through the different relays and everything, and I could still be legal. It's just not standard anymore.
I just want to keep it Toyota. Like, done the right thing, replaced it with a Toyota factory fuse box, but unfortunately, at this case, it seems like the factory Toyota fuse box has been not good. Like, it's just been a faulty
The fact
fuse
that
box.
tail light fuse doesn't have power. Where it should have power all the time because they're negatively switched.
Yeah.
So there should be power there, but there's not.
Yeah, and we've gone both kick panel fuse boxes. We've checked absolutely everything. Every single thing that we could check, we've checked.
Trailer plugs.
Yep, everything. It's from
the batteries to the end point.
Yeah.
And everything in between.
Yeah, everything. So we've come to the conclusion it is a faulty new fuse box. So that's what we've come to. But yeah, we're going to put it all back together, take it for a drive, make sure everything's roadworthy, and we're on the road.
Yep, box it back up.
All good.
So there you have it. Fun day of working on the car. I never have very successful days working on the car, but I am pretty thankful Ben's come around to give me a hand today. Just from watching our YouTube channel, he's reached out. It's pretty awesome. This is what we love about YouTubing, is the people that we've been meeting because of it. It's pretty cool. Little legend, aren't you?
Yeah, all good.
All right, we'll see you later, guys.
But, yeah, good backdrop.
Yeah, as that sunset's getting a bit of colour in it now. Alright, I butchered it, but I got the old one out. So as you can see, it's flat. Where the new one has this concave section, which is designed for the FTE motor, not the HZ. So this is what I'm supposed to have, so I would have been starving of fuel because I wouldn't be able to pick it up out of there. So I'm just going to put it all back together now and put it back in, and hopefully get a little bit of extra power out of the car. And there we go, new one back in. I've just washed it down with some water for the little bit of fuel that I spilt. I probably won't notice anything immediate, but I'm going to take it for a drive and make sure it's running okay after doing that job. It'll probably be top end because like flat surface to flat surface, it's trying to draw up the fuel and you're relying on that little bit there, where that other one with the concave, apparently it just helps you draw that fuel up a lot better, especially on these motors with the big fuel lines. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind for next time and make sure we get the right fuel filters in the future. So it's been about a month now since Ben helped me in the car, and I've still only got one fault light up. I got it the wrong way around when I sent it to you though. It's the ABS is cleared. I've still got the handbrake light. So that's my open circuit in the ignition 2 circuit. So the ABS is gone, which is good. But the power change from putting the right fuel filter in and dialing up that chip is, it's chalk and cheese, to quote Jeff from On For The Road Out. It's phenomenal. I'm climbing up one of the biggest hills that we've been on so far, and I've been able to hold third gear for a lot of it. It's actually the corners that I'm slowing down for second, otherwise I could climb this hill in third easily. I could not have done that a month ago. It's phenomenal, the difference having the right fuel filter and just dialing up that chip a little bit has made to the way we can tackle Tassie now. It's awesome. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was a little bit different, but it was pretty cool to have Ben, you know, just a follower of ours, reach out and give me a hand with the car. I really appreciate that, so thank you, Ben. Let's see if we can now clear this next fault line. I think I might need another auto stock to have a look. Thanks guys, see you next time.